Yippee-ki-yay, mother... Hello everyone, welcome back to the Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow Santa Christopher Johnson.
Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Hopefully it'll be out on YouTube on Christmas. Either Eve or day, one of the two.
Hey. Yeah, and finally we get the opportunity to discuss something Christmas related around Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And it happens to be one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Mm-hmm. So.
But, while not getting to the overview, Die Hard is a 1988 action film based on the 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe. The film was produced by Gordon Company and Silver Pictures and distributed by 20th Century Fox, now 20th Century Studios, a division of Disney Entertainment. The film was directed by John McTiernan.
Yeah.
And written by Jeb Stewart and Stephen E. D'Souza. The film stars Bruce Willis alongside Alan Rickman, Alexander Godunov, and Bonnie Bedelia, with Reginald VelJohnson, William Atherton, Paul Gleason, and Hart Bochner in supporting roles. Die Hard was a surprise commercial success that elevated Bruce Willis to leading man status, made Alan Rickman a celebrity, and spawned a whole Die Hard film series franchise with 4 sequels. This film is considered one of the greatest action films ever made, so much so that in 2017, the film was preserved in the Library of Congress. So, yeah, when was the first time you saw this film?
In college.
Oh.
Yeah, we were discussing it on a film study.
We
were discussing it because they made reference to High Noon, a movie that we also saw for college. That we saw before we went over this one. And since they make a lot of High Noon references, where Hans Gruber gets the actor's name wrong. In that one, yeah.
He said John Wayne when it was Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was around the same time in college myself. And I loved the film, so from that point on, just about every Christmas, I take time to watch this film. It's one of the few films I always try to watch around Christmas time.
Yeah.
You know, essentially this and the first 2 Home Alones.
Yeah. Well, I have my other Christmas traditions. Well, movies I have to watch. But they're mainly superheroes, and the actual Christmassy stuff falls more closer to Christmas time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, should I get into the synopsis?
Yes.
Cool. New York City policeman John McClane is visiting his estranged wife on Christmas Eve. He joins her at a holiday party in the headquarters of the Japanese-owned business she works for, but the festivities are interrupted by a group of terrorists who take over the exclusive high-rise and everyone in it. Very soon, McClane realizes that there's no one to save the hostages but him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess why don't we start getting into the cast?
Yeah.
Starting with the man himself, the cowboy, John McClane, played by Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
this man did a fantastic job.
Yes.
My God, this role was tailor-made for him.
Yep. At that
Truly tailor-made.
point, he was doing Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd at that time. He was a TV star before he became a movie star.
Yeah, and some people weren't necessarily sure if he could be a leading man.
Yeah.
But he proved all the naysayers wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he truly did a fantastic job. I mean, his acting was so charismatic,
Yeah.
funny, and earnest. You really felt for John and wanted to see him save as many people as he could, defeat the terrorists, and make it out alive.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the same time, his interactions with various people, whether they be friend or ally or foe, just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. And plus, this man had so... Well, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself.
Yeah.
And dear God, you really see McClane go through the ringer in this whole film. This man starts off, you know, nice and clean, and by the end of it, dirty, bloody, sweaty. Good Lord, everything he went through.
Yeah.
Um,
I have the advantage of knowing the bad guys' names earlier on.
which, very smart. And made sure to write it down on his arm
Yeah.
just to make sure that he knew the list. I do wonder, this man is only a policeman, but this man truly acted as though he was like a military tactician.
Yeah.
How did he know to do all the things that he knew? I mean, I know the streets of New York City are pretty rough, but
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the only real question.
yeah. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments.
Yeah. I thought Bruce Willis did great as John McClane. Him being a little resentful that his wife didn't keep the married name, use her maiden name, and then ended up being the only one who technically doesn't get captured, and also knows when the bad guy's playing the victim.
Which, one of the best moments ever. I remember the first time watching it, I was like, does John know? Does John? Oh, he knows. Proof that sometimes the main character can be just as smart, if not smarter, than the villain.
Yeah.
But, should we go with the leading lady, or should we go with the main villain?
We should go with the main villain.
Well, yeah. With every great hero, there has to be a great villain. And in this film, Hans Gruber, played by the late, great Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
My God, this was fantastic. Alan Rickman did fantastic.
Yeah.
Truly fantastic. Hans Gruber is one of the greatest movie villains ever. And I don't think people give Alan Rickman enough credit on how well he played this role. Because there's just, like I said, with John McClane, Hans Gruber is just as charismatic and at times funny. But he's intimidating instead of the earnestness that we see in McClane. I mean, initially you wouldn't think, a guy like Hans would be intimidating, but no, he is.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because the fact of how he doesn't necessarily become too overly animated when he gets angry. He tries to keep a cool head and try to, in some ways, put you at ease, but also make you feel a little uneasy at the same time. He tries to keep decorum while at the same time threatening you with a gun.
Yeah.
You don't see too many villains like that anymore.
Yeah. And he does a weird American fake accent.
Which you actually kind of you got to give Alan Rickman some credit. See, that's the thing. Most foreign actors, they can actually do a good American accent.
Yeah.
While at the same time, while this man is British, he actually does a very good German accent.
Yeah. And we'll discuss him a lot more during the Harry Potter. Maybe.
Are we allowed to talk about Potter? Are we? Are we?
We'll see.
Hey, some people watch it on Christmas as well.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Along with the other one where he cheats on his wife, Love Actually.
What is with him and Christmas? What is with Alan Rickman and Christmas? Hey, 'tis the season.
Yeah.
We'll get more into, some of the other things, but I guess should we go into the leading lady?
Yeah.
Okay. Holly Gennaro McLean, played by Bonnie
Bedelia.
Thank you.
Yeah, she was great. We'll also discuss her in, once we discuss the Salem's Lot, she's in the original Salem's Lot movie, miniseries, yeah.
Oh.
Directed by Toby Hooper. Before, this was pre-Die Hard, so yeah.
She did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And there were definitely some times you were truly worried about her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you knew she was also smart.
Yeah.
And, she made sure until things got ruined by some individuals that, she had no relation with the man that is foiling Hans and his associates' plans. While at the same time being a good negotiator to make sure that, her co-workers, can at least be in some sense of comfort and at least get bathroom breaks. And she's also the main reason why we see a great deal of earnestness from John, because you see him essentially go through the realization that it's not her that's causing the issues with their marriage, it's him.
Yeah.
He should have been more supportive. And the fact that he wasn't supportive kind of affected their overall relationship.
Yes.
To the point that, he tells Al, if I don't make it, tell her I love her and I'm sorry. And you really have to give it up for him for that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I thought she did great.
But should we get more into the Allies or more of Hans's group.
More into the Allies.
Well, why don't we get into the main man himself? Sergeant Al Powell, played by Reginald VelJohnson.
Yeah.
It's a rare condition this day and age, reading the good news in a newspaper page, a love and tradition of a grand desire. Some people say it's even harder to find as days go by. It's a real love for the family.
Yeah. I knew him from Family Matters before I saw this
Well,
movie.
Same here. I mean, and I find it interesting that half of this man's career is playing a cop.
Mm-hmm.
It really
He
is.
was a cop in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, going by Reggie VelJohnson.
Yeah.
A cop here in Die Hard and its sequel.
Yeah.
And, of course, being Officer Carl Winslow on Family Matters.
Yeah.
Apparently, this man just has the perfect look of a cop.
Yeah.
Whether it be in New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Does make me wonder, are all three of them the same man?
Yeah.
We need to delve more into this. Is this all the same man, just him changing names?
Yeah. But they great trying to keep in contact with John, which at the first time he didn't know his name. And first he didn't believe the call because the terrorist was pretending to be a security guard.
Yeah, and them actually being smart, as to, keep their tracks covered.
Yeah.
Lead some people into a false sense of security, but still have, a few pieces ready just in case.
Yeah.
But, yeah, once Marco, a dead Marco, falls out the window and lands on his car, he's like, oh, yeah, something's up here. Something is truly up here.
Yeah.
And apparently he is the only person in this whole police department that is competent.
Yeah. Like one of them want to listen to John on the line.
Yeah, the deputy chief, which we'll get into him.
Yeah.
And even the FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently Al is the only competent person with some semblance of authority in all of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, but thank God he is there.
Yeah.
Because not only is he making sure things are going well for John, also keeping him a heads up about what's going on in the outside. He's also a nice person that, John can talk to, and kind of get this nice camaraderie, because not only are they both police officers, they're both family men.
Yeah.
And, they've also gone through their own, situations where they have regrets. With John, it's the fact of him not being as supportive for his wife, which has caused issues with his marriage, to the point that she may be thinking about divorcing him. I mean, she reverted back to her maiden name. While for Al, he unfortunately shot a kid.
Yeah.
That was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately had a toy gun that looked like a real gun.
Yeah.
In the darkness of night. But you feel for Al,
And he does have his big hero moment at the end.
Yes, which we won't give away, but it's really cathartic. Really cathartic. I guess should we get into the deputy chief?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deputy Chief Dwayne T. Robinson, played by Paul Gleason.
Yeah.
Don't you forget about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether he's causing issues as the principal for the Breakfast Club or causing issues as the deputy chief during a terrorist attack. Lord have mercy, this man makes things so much more difficult than what they need to be.
Yeah.
So much more difficult. Why do we let him do things?
Yeah.
How did this man make it this far in the chain of command for the LAPD?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he is actually funny because
Yeah.
Paul Gleason was a great actor.
Yeah.
And he's able to play that jerk authority figure very well.
Yeah, I thought he was good. He didn't know what he was doing. For most of the time, he just let other people take in charge.
Yeah, initially trying to take charge, but realizing he's way over his depth. So, yeah, let the other guys do it. Let the other guys do it. And I think he learned it after he got a nice chewing out from John.
Yeah.
Yeah, McClane put him in his place. And then the FBI put him in his place.
Yeah.
It was almost at that point of, why are you even here?
Yeah.
Why are you even here?
Yeah.
But hey, Paul Gleason did great though.
Yes.
Should we go into the limo driver?
Yeah.
Gotta love him. Argyle, played by Deveray White.
I think so.
Argyle was great.
Yeah.
You know, he's just this young kid who has moved up from being a taxi driver to now being a limo driver. And somehow, some way, he actually is helpful.
Yeah.
Though, despite the fact that for the first, third, maybe 2/3?
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, until he realizes, oh, CB radio.
Yeah.
And now he's in the thick of it. He knows what's going on, and he's kind of being like, he's kind of being a bit like the cheerleader for John.
Yeah.
Until he gets to have his great
Yeah.
moment, which we won't give away.
Yeah.
Though it does make me wonder, after that, did he get to keep his job as a limo driver?
Yeah.
Does make me wonder. But Argyle was great. He really was. I mean...
Yeah. I agree with you. I thought he was great and funny, and like you said, he did have his hero moment.
Now, should we get into the news reporter?
Yeah. Dickless himself.
Huh?
Dickless himself.
Oh, yeah, it is true. This man has no dick. Richard Thornburg, played by William Atherton.
Yeah.
This man really only just cared about getting this story.
Yeah.
To the point that he crossed some lines that he really should not have crossed.
Yeah.
I mean, while this might be a bit of a gripe as far as when it comes to what you would consider the bad, because really there aren't much you could consider bad for this film. I do kind of have this feeling that we didn't get enough of the McClane kids
Yeah.
and their nanny.
Yeah.
But this man should not have gone to their home and him be the person to tell the children what is going on.
Yeah.
The audacity of this man.
Yeah.
The audacity. I mean, while I do give him credit as, you know, being gung-ho of trying to cover this story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, bro, you are crossing so many boundaries that you deserved that punch from Bonnie at the end of the film.
Yeah.
You deserved it.
Yeah.
And plus, you're the reason why Hans was able to figure out, oh, she's Mrs. McClane. He should have gotten more than that punch, but that punch was truly enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. He was ridiculous, and he did it. He made things much worse than it needed to be. Oh,
though he's not the only one.
yeah.
Harry Ellis, played by Hart Bachner.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there had to be that one sleazy executive coworker.
Who tried to hit on Holly at first, yeah.
Yeah. Which, the audacity of you, sir. The audacity. You are lucky John was in a semi-decent mood. Mm-hmm. Because, for real, he could have done something worse to you than what Hans Gruber does to you.
Yeah.
I mean, dear God, what? He was way over his depth.
Yeah.
Plus the fact, why are you doing cocaine at the holiday party in your office building? Why?
Because it was the 80s.
But not in the office.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
Well, yeah. I mean, the 70s and 80s were fueled by cocaine, but still. And you're still going to keep using it while you're being held as a hostage? And then have the gall to try to talk to Hans Gruber and try to talk to John, trying to get him to stopping Hans and the terrorists. Thinking that, oh, yeah, I'm the smartest guy in the room. I can negotiate. I can find a way to, smooth things over so we can all get out safe and sound. Who cares if Hans takes some stuff and whatnot? It's all fine. You learn the hard way.
Yeah.
You really learn the hard way. Though there is the humanity in me that did kind of feel bad of what happened to him, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, you kind of did this to yourself, now didn't you? I mean,
I agree. He had it coming.
Though there is still that humanity in you that is like, I don't think he necessarily deserved it. But at the same time, he was kind of asking for it.
Yeah.
Them's be the breaks.
Yeah.
And should we also go into the first victim?
Yeah.
Joseph Shinobu Takagi, played by James Shigeta.
Yeah. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy and was willing to put his life on the line for his workers.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he did end up losing his life because of it.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Mr. Takagi before he, got probably one of the more gruesome deaths in this whole film. Because even though we didn't see the shot, we saw the man's brain matter on the window and the glass door.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me which I do wonder, what became of his and Harry's bodies What did the terrorists do?
Yeah, they didn't really tell us. They did.
That's another gripe.
Yeah.
But hey, I guess now we get into some of
Yeah.
the terrorists. Starting with Hans's second in command, Carl, played by Alexander Goldenov.
Yeah.
This man was terrifying.
Yeah.
He really was terrifying. He was the legitimate hothead of
Yeah.
the whole group.
Wanted to kill John.
Yeah, especially after his brother accidentally gets killed.
Yep, which is homage to Violent Night with the first guy dying.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
See, that film knew its stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Carl was truly terrifying, especially during, the climactic fight between him and John, when he finally got his hands on him.
Yeah.
I mean, already the gunfights where he had John in his crosshairs, it was already intimidating enough, and I think, was it him that actually got the shot in John's shoulder, or was that a different terrorist member?
I don't remember. Might be.
Though he was also the one that was shooting the glass that ended up utterly destroying John's feet. Oh my. Ooh. Well, we'll get more into the gore, but.
Yeah.
And somehow, someway, this man has Superman strength because this man survived hanging via steel chain and still got back to try to shoot John. Oh, he was on a mission after his brother Tony died. He took. I mean, I could understand taking things personal, but he really took it personal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Yeah. Yep. His whole goal was just to kill John.
When initially he was just there to be the muscle to help Hans, get all those bank statements and bonds and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, hey, sometimes you gotta... take care of business. But speaking of taking care of business, why don't we get into quite possibly my favorite member of the whole group, Hans Gruber's tech specialist, Theo, played by Clarence Gilliard.
Yeah, I'm used to him being the good guy in Walker.
Yeah. This was before Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
So this man went from being a terrorist to being a Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Plus the fact he was unusually funny.
Yeah.
He was so funny and charismatic that you kind of forget that, oh yeah, he's working for the bad guy. There is that weird part of me that was kind of rooting for him, but at the same time, I need to remember. Oh yeah, he's working for Hans Gruber. He's working for the terrorists. He had no qualms in stepping over like two people that just got murdered.
Yeah.
And then he was also the one that was going to drive the getaway vehicle.
Yeah. Which doesn't work out for him.
Yeah.
And one of the few surviving.
Yeah, he's the only surviving member of the group.
Yeah.
He's the only surviving member. Mm-hmm. Everyone else that was on the team died.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, almost all of them got killed by John.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. One of the few times the black guy doesn't die first or at all.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew this was so progressive?
Mm-hmm.
But, why don't we get into the good?
Yep.
Of course, the plot was fantastic.
Yes.
So fantastic.
Yeah, and basically from the book, which none of us have still read.
Yeah, at some point we need to read that. But truly the plot was great. I mean, kind of straightforward,
Yeah.
but really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just all the moving pieces around it just add so much more depth to it.
Yeah.
And one of the great things is the acting, because, like I said, everyone in this film is either charismatic, funny, earnest, or intimidating, or a combination of all 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Everyone was great, but you gotta give it to Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, and I would even say Reginald Vell Johnson. They are the true MVPs of this film. Loved it. I mean, this was proof for all 3 of these guys that they are true top tier actors.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it about Bruce Willis. Everyone knows it about Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
They do not give enough credit to Reginald Vell Johnson.
Yes.
That man is truly a great actor, and he deserves a lot more credit than what he gets.
Yeah.
The action.
Yeah.
My God. Whether it is the awesome gunfights, whether it's the hand-to-hand fights, and my God, all the explosions.
Yeah.
All the explosions. So many explosions that it would make it would make guys like Zack Snyder and
Yeah. Nolan. All that.
not Nolan.
Michael
The
Bay.
man, yes, Michael Bay. Enough explosions to make Zack Snyder and Michael Bay blush. And there's some hardcore explosions too. Truly hardcore. I mean, and this was still during the age of practical effects.
Yeah.
I mean, CGI was it was very much in its infancy.
Yeah.
So I wonder what they had to go through in making those explosions.
Yeah.
You don't see stuff like that anymore. I miss the practical stuff.
Yeah.
But my God, the gunfights, and plus, ooh,
How bloody.
yeah, my God, when this film said it was rated R, it meant it was rated R. My God, this was RoboCop's level of blood and gore.
Yeah.
I mean, we legit saw guys we saw people get gunned down hard.
Yes.
I mean, this was, I think this was enough blood to almost make Tarantino blush.
Yeah.
Whether it was the gunshot wounds, whether it was the blood trail John was leaving after he had to walk through glass in his bare feet. Oh God, when he had to pull some of the glass out of his foot.
Yeah.
That. And I'm not a squeamish person, and even I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that made my toes curl. And I mean, anything else you want to add?
Now we've said about a lot of it.
And of course, let's not forget some nice cameos.
Yeah.
You know, smaller supporting roles. Starting first with the man that fuels Carl's absolute bloodlust, Tony, played by Andreas Wisniewski.
Yeah.
But we've actually discussed this man before. Because before he was a German terrorist, he was quite possibly the KGB's greatest assassin ever, Necros, from The Living Daylights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we went ahead and watched this film over, I was like, something's familiar about him. Something is familiar. And then I saw his name and I was like, wait, I know that name. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's Necros. Mm-hmm. Oh man. It's a small world after all. Yeah. Hey, when you need someone who's an intimidating henchman, he's one of the guys to go for.
Yes.
It's just a shame that we didn't necessarily get enough of him.
No.
You know, he's the first guy to go down.
Yeah.
And it's mostly by accident. Mm-hmm. Just a tumble down the stairs during a headlock.
Yeah. Oh
no, broken neck. And now he ends up becoming the message to all the terrorists, don't mess with John McClane. Yeah. I have a machine gun now. Ho, ho, ho. Mm-hmm. And also, speaking of Bond villains and henchmen, FBI Special Agent Johnson, Big Johnson, played by Robert Davi.
Yeah.
Hello again, Franz Sanchez.
Yep, 2 Timothy Dalton villains.
Who would have thought? And I believe this was before License to Kill.
Yeah.
But this was after The Living Daylights. So, yeah, who would have thought? Yeah. Who would have thought? It's a small world after all. The weird times where you actually see recurring actors. Yeah. Though I swear, Robert Davi and also Grandel Bush as FBI Special Agent Little Johnson, such blowhards.
Yeah.
They really thought they had things under control. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Just look at you and Deputy Chief Robinson caused so many casualties.
Yeah.
In this whole operation. Plus, to the point that you two became casualties.
Yeah.
How many times are we going to watch Robert Davi die via fire or explosion?
Depends on whether Robert Davi's movie has him being exploded next.
This is the second time!
Other than Die Hard. And...
we saw this man burn to death in License to Kill. Yeah. When Timothy Dalton got his vengeance. Yeah. But, hey, they all did great for what parts that they had in the story.
Yeah.
You know, despite them kind of being antagonists or hindrances. Mm-hmm. But, of course, there's also one other thing that we have to acknowledge that makes this film so great. All the iconic quotes and one-liners. Yeah. My God, this was a masterclass.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Bro, this is a PG show. This is a PG show.
We're way past the 20-second mark.
Well played. Well played. Everybody just remember, he said it, not me. Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas. I mean, some of the quotes like, come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs. Mm-hmm. Huh. Now I know how it feels to be a microwave dinner?
Yeah.
Of course, you said it.
Yeah.
But of all things being equal, I'd rather be in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got invited to a Christmas party by mistake. Who knew? Mm-hmm. I promise. I will never even think about going up a tall building again. Oh God, please don't let me die. And just to fly in the ointment, Hans.
Yeah.
The monkey in the wrench. Just fantastic. Masterclass. 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 You make a pretty good cowboy yourself, Hans. I mean, what are your favorite quotes besides the one that you decided to say uncensored?
No, that was just my favorite quote.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's that, and also, now I know how it feels to be microwave dinner.
Yeah.
But, like I said earlier, these are just meaningless gripes rather than truly bad. You know, not enough of the McLean kids and how the events are affecting them and the nanny.
Yeah.
And also, what did Gruber's men do with the bodies?
Yeah.
Other than that, this film is absolutely fantastic. You know, you can really overlook those things because
That's why
they're...
it's the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah, that's why it was preserved in the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
But I guess why don't we get to the scores?
Yep. I give this a 9 out of 10. It was really great. With the plot and John McClane being one step ahead for most of the movie. And his comebacks many times.
For me, I got to. It's a 10 out of 10, man.
Yeah.
It's a 10 out of 10. It's one of the greatest action films ever. It's one of the greatest Christmas films ever. It puts so many people into icon status. This film is fantastic. I love it so much. This is the reason why it's one of the few Christmas films I make sure to watch every holiday season.
Yeah.
It's essentially this, Home Alone's 1 and 2, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Those are the films I always make sure to watch every Christmas. And this is the first one I always make sure to watch. Fantastic.
But if you don't think it's a Christmas movie, go find us on Facebook, The Royal Screen Team, where else?
You can also find us on Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok.
And make sure to find us on YouTube and make sure to like, comment on our videos, share our videos, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel or get your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and if you're also subscribed, be sure to click the post notification bell so you're up to date for all of our new and upcoming videos.
And now, our upcoming videos for 2024.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry that we weren't able to get to it earlier, but we're gonna get to it now.
Yeah. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, the 30th anniversary special for the Power Rangers, and I think one of the better anniversary specials of this year.
Yeah.
For a franchise, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. We got a mixed bag this year.
Yeah.
And then
It's yours.
Yeah. After that, it's going to be my special pick for my birthday. We're going back to the crazy and bizarre world of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as we discuss part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders.
Yep.
And also, hopefully by that time, maybe we'll finally do our review for the Third Doctor, John Pertwee.
We just have to get we have to start working on the part we hear.
Yeah. Hey, this is a longer one than, the first 2.
Yeah.
Instead of 3, it's 5 seasons.
Yeah.
should we let them know about anything else that we're planning?
Yeah, we're doing my expert novice on Smallville's seasons 2 and 3, finally.
And also, I'm so happy that we're doing this. For its 40th anniversary, we are going to be reviewing Dragon Ball.
Yeah, along with discussing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's 40.
Yeah. Who would have thought next year would be so many anniversaries?
Yeah.
Plus, there's also another anniversary that we'll be discussing later on in the year.
Yep, and we're also discussing more some other franchises coming out in movie form. Yep. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Deadpool 3, and I really want to do Nosferatu, but that'll be a 2025 thing, most likely.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot to cover. I mean,
Yep.
look at all the Doctor Who we still have to do.
Yeah.
We're now on the 3rd Doctor, and we still have how many Doctors?
11 more after that.
Yeah. Plus multi-Doctor events, anniversaries, and other specials.
Yeah.
We got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
And plus, should I let them know?
Yeah.
We're also coming back with the James Bond-a-thon.
Yeah.
And we're talking about quite possibly my favorite Bond of all, my first Bond, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
So I hope you all are excited because we've got a lot in store for you for 2024.
So, want to roll us out?
Well, sure. Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely come back and watch us again. Have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, a kick-ass Kwanzaa, a Happy Hanukkah, and a Festivus for the rest of us. Shout out to you, Erod. Well, definitely be sure to remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and click the post notification bell. Well, until next year, cut, print, that's a wrap.